How you doing, everybody? Milsurp Garage here. Back again with the YouTube capture, which I said I was never going to use again, but it's just convenient. It would just be nice if it worked right. And why doesn't the iPhone have a wide-angle lens? And why am I talking about that when I have a Chilean Mauser to show you? That's right. Just recently, just a couple of days ago, I put one up on the Argentine 1891. This is the Modelo Chileno 1895. This is the gun in this basic form that the United States went up against when they were using the Krag, and we're like, what is that thing, and where do we get it from? And then I think they tried to work out with something with Mauser, and then instead just were like, nah, we changed our mind, and then built the 1903 Springfield, which was just a complete ripoff. Be a nice rifle in its own right, but you know, you gotta call it as it is. That's how it is. It really was just a blatant ripoff of this guy. Now, I was gonna take out the 1891 and do like comparisons back and forth, but I figure this rifle deserves just its own video, and then I'm going to do one in the future that really breaks down side by side the differences that when Mauser took the step from the 1891 to this guy, what he really changed. But and I'll just show you really just what's unique about this one. This one is a more typical Mauser design with the non-rotating collar extractor that you can see there. And it has the typical looking bolt release that you'd see on a K98K, and it has a setup very similar to the Swedish Mauser, the 1896 Swedish Mauser. If you've seen those are very popular. And it has, you know, the 3-position safety with that middle position where you're able to load and unload. And if you notice, there's no magazine hold open here. There's no bolt hold open on the last shot. I guess Chile decided they did not want that, and there was just a teeny little ramp put in here so that the, as you can see, the bolt could just ride up and over that without having to push it in with your finger. What's cool about these is that if you get them where they're manufactured by Ludwig Loewe, the Ludwig Loewe ones with this marking, with that marking on there, is they're all 1895 manufacture, which makes them antique and no FFL needed for no FFL needed for trading. You can see this nice cartouche on the stock too that says 1895 with the Chilean crest. This stock has taken some abuse, but this is a perfect reason why I'd rather have the abuse in the dings and dents, because there's some pretty deep ones in here. I mean, like, look at this one over by the bolt. I mean, that's a nasty shot right there. That's deep. It's like it hit the edge of a dresser. But you know what? I'd rather have these dings and dents and on a beautiful cartouche like that than have a stock that was sanded smooth and the stock looks nice and the cartouche is gone. To me, these cartouches are a whole lot more interesting. And what's really cool is, the reason why I held up this video a bit is because I was searching for the correct bayonet. Because there is a bayonet that goes specifically for this rifle. But if you remember this guy, I had them side by side and I was looking at them. This is the bayonet for the Argentine Mauser that I just did the video for. And I'm looking at the muzzles of them next to each other and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. And I'm like, boom. Apparently Mauser designed these rifles all to accept the same dimensions here for the mount for the bayonet. And you know what's interesting is that Argentina wanted to go with this longer one. Chile had like a shorter one this big, so Argentina was like, well, we'll go with a longer one. Obviously, with the bayonet fighting, it would be more advantageous to have a longer one. But that's all negated when your enemy could just pick up the longer bayonet that you have and put them on their rifles. You know what I mean? I don't understand the strategy, really. Maybe they weren't aware that the mounting was the same. Who knows? But what I'm going to do now is there's a couple of things I want to show you on this close-up, so I'm just going to break it down over here. All right, here's what I wanted to show you here and get real specific. Was I told you I would show you this safety feature that Mauser came up with because the bolt itself only has the 2 locking lugs that you see up there, that rotate into position here and lock in. And Mauser made a step forward here by adding this notch that you see right here, so that in the event of a failure of the locking lugs, the bolt handle fits right inside there, you see, and that offers some protection that the bolt would come back in your face. And like I had said, it seemed so simple just to put a tab there that's connected to the receiver. It isn't like, you really had to do rocket science. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of dropped right in there. That was it. That was his big advancement. And some other cool things here that, one is that Ludwig Love, the manufacturer here, was Jewish. And you could see that his cartouche on the stock there is a Star of David. So for a German gun, that's pretty interesting. I mean, of course, when this was made, Hitler was like 4. You know what I mean? But still, it is very interesting. You see there's one over there as well. There's a few of them around. Where's the other one? I know there's at least 3. Can't remember where the third one is, but yeah, that was his cartouche. That's the Chilean crest, unlike the Argentinian Mauser. The crest is visible on this one and nice and deep and fresh there. Let's see, what else do we have here? The sight is also interesting. Like the 1891 that I showed you. Come on, focus. It has a parking spot up on top here, and much like the 1891, I'll show you how I actually figured this out. You see, most people just leave these buried here, I notice, and think that that's the position that's supposed to be in. But what bothered me is that, you see, it has these locking tabs here that fit inside these lines that click in. And what bothered me, I was like, why is that one up in the air? You think at the bottom there would be a line on either side so that they would both click into place. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go up a notch. And then if you go up a notch, it clicks in there. You go up another notch, it clicks in there. Up another notch, clicks in there. It just wouldn't seem to, see, now that one clicks down over here. And now this one's up in the air. And then, you go another notch. Now that one's clicking down and this one's staying up. And I was like, what the hell? How do I get them both to click down? Even here, now that one's up. What I realized is the only place they put 2 of those notches across from each other is the very top. And if you could see, this has like a dovetail, kind of, that fits into the sight. So when you go all the way up, they both fall flat. So this is flat across. And the sight gets hooked in there and held so it doesn't accidentally fold up and get damaged. That's actually the storage position for these things. I'm 100% sure of it. So that's pretty cool. I don't see anybody storing it that way. And, the Chileans, they have this mark, it's kind of like a, there it is, you see it over here. It's kind of like a hammer, sickle, Russian thing, sort of. And this is another mark that they use. And there's another one back here. See how well, whoa, see how well that'll show up. It's kind of like just a circle with a cross. And there's these marks on the screws that look like a little alien head, if you could see that. Interesting markings on this guy. You can see right there on the bolt release handle, there's like a triangle looking one. I can't get a good view of that. Let me see. Really difficult to get a focus going here. I apologize. I need some equipment to really do this right. And there's that weird triangle with a circle in it. And then there's that guy. Again. Yeah, some interesting markings. Markings like that are always pretty cool to check out. So, yeah, and then the round. Let's get into the round. Here's the, it uses the 7x57 right here with these types of stripper clips. The inside of the stripper clip is actually brass on these. 7x57. I do a video where I clean those up. And this is the round next to the 8mm German 8mm Mauser round, so you can see the size difference. And then over here we have the 7x65 by 53 Argentine round. So you see the 8mm definitely is a little pumped up, but as far as the 7mm Mauser and the Argentine round, very similar. Longer neck here on the 7mm. And that's it. Ballistically, you know, a good round. I hear good things about it. Don't have much experience with it. So I'm going to really just feel it out and see. I'll post a shooting video on this guy. Let me come back to reality here. Alright, here we are. You know, these things, they're not that expensive. They're fairly cheap. You get one of these things for a few $100. Ugh. And I highly recommend them. They're a classic Mauser design. It's going to be a lot more of what you're used to if you're into the more, you know, K98K World War II Mausers. You're going to feel right at home with this guy. The only difference is that it'll be a cock-on closing design, the older design. The like the Swedish Mauser. Feels very Swedish Mauser-y, just not as long. Just not as long. But definitely a bit fatter than the 1891, fatter feeling, and maybe even a little bit heavier. Not sure about the weight, but its stock is just a little bit beefier, you know. And you know, the barrel bands are a little bit different. You have these depressible bars here on the front and back bands instead of just on the front band. You got a cleaning rod here. And there you go. That's the Chilean Mauser. I keep my eyes open for these Turkish ones. You know, there's like ones from Turkey around this age. I gotta see what those are about. I've seen them around, but really never had much interest. But now after checking out these guys, they're always beat up though. You know, that's the thing. But like I said, I'll probably do a video where I put specific parts, like the bolt, to explain how, you know, like I say, this has the non-rotating collar extractor, which, you know, it uses the same controlled feed as the 1891, but has the double-stacked magazine, so this is flush here now. This is when they moved into this flush design, where the magazine doesn't protrude. Same magazine capacity of 5, but the rounds are like diagonally stacked next to each other, and it uses this double stack magazine with this this particular style of follower, and but still has the controlled feed. Whereas with the controlled feed, what that means is that when you pick up the round like this, that's as far as you need to go. You don't even need to close the bolt, and the round, you got it. You got that round connected. So during if it's doesn't feed properly, you'd be able to extract the round, you know, whereas other bolt-action rifles from this period. Hey, shut up! other bolt action rifles from this period, you would have to close the bolt completely and turn it down to pick up the round. Get up here. What are you barking at? What is wrong with you? What's the problem? Somebody over there? Who's over there? So that's the story. Chilean Mauser, 1895. What do you think, Charlie? Want to go do some shooting? Huh? I have to... He's stealing my air. Charlie, I haven't seen you on video for a long time. You wanted to make a visit. You wanted to wake up. He's been sleeping for 9 hours, and something just woke him up. Or a rabbit run by or something there? Dude, I got to do videos of Charlie because you are looking at the greatest dog. Forget about rifles and Milsurps. This is the greatest dog in existence. Right, Charlie? People have no idea. He's the sweetest. Here's your good boy. So, yeah, 1895, Chilean Mauser. I'm going to do a comparison video that shows the little differences back and forth. If you got any specific questions about this guy, because I know I'm forgetting something, please send a comment and ask away. Have fun out there.